The last part of your homework was to extract another function that builds the list. So all this stuff shouldn't be too tough. Function build list. What does it need to know from the outside to build the list? Just that user object, right? Now we're starting to see a little bit of purpose to this. But it wouldn't have to be users. It could be breakfast cereals, dinosaurs, whatever. It's just some data. As long as it's a set of key value pairs, it doesn't matter what it is. All we have to do is loop over it. So let's try that. We'll create a list. I'll leave it down there. I'll copy instead of cut. Make a list. Then let's get all of the keys out of whatever data happens to be. So instead of user here, I'll put data. We'll loop over all the keys in that data object. And then we'll call this function that builds a list item and pins the list item to our list. And don't forget to return the list at the end. Now we can test this by itself without tying it to the form. Refresh the page. Let's say, oh heck, breakfast cereals. What's your favorite cereal, Jacob? All right, all right. Let's say Kellogg's. What's your favorite Kellogg cereal? Frosted Flakes. What's your favorite Post cereal? How about Cocoa Pebbles? Sure. Post Cocoa and Fruity Pebble cereal. Yabba dabba delicious. What about Ralston? Cookie Crisp? Oh man, I've left out the big G. General Mills, they're the kings of cereal. But that's okay. I always put my trailing comma there. Just in the habit. So now we've got some breakfast cereals. And what if I say render list? Breakfast cereals? Shucks. Render list is not defined. I called it build list. Nice going, doofus. Render list is what I meant. That's what it said to do in the homework. But I'll call build list for now. Build list. User is not defined. I forgot to take it out somewhere. Ah, here we go. User. What should that be? Data, right? And that is why we test it before we start plugging it back in. Let's refresh the page. Let's get my breakfast cereals back. I've got a UL, LI, Kellogg's, Frosted Flakes, Post, Cocoa Pebbles, Ralston, Cookie Crisp. Totally works. So I should be able to plug that back in here. Inside handle submit. Don't need to do any of this stuff. Instead, I get my div off the page and I append child render list and just pass in my user. Should just work. Refresh. Abshay 465. Nice blue. There we go. It works. Refactoring complete. Questions? All right, let's commit it. Extract renderList function. And actually remember to call it renderList. Though I'm not putting that in my commit message.